Welcome to Storytime English. Have you ever tested your English just to see how much you have really grown? Sometimes we speak every day, but we never notice our own progress. It's like looking in the mirror and not seeing how tall you've become. Today, we'll test our English in a fun and honest way. Not with grammar books, not with fear, but with real-life confidence. So take a deep breath, relax, and let's see how far you've come in your English journey. Because every word you speak tells the story of your growth. And today, we're going to understand that story together. In this episode, you will learn how to test your English in real life. You will discover small signs that show how much your English has improved. You will understand what fluent people do differently without even thinking about it. And you will get simple ways to keep growing every single day. By the end of this episode, you will not just speak English better, you will feel it. Because true fluency is not only in words, it's in your confidence. And today, we'll build that confidence step by step together. I still remember the first time I tried to speak English in front of someone. My hands were shaking, my heart was racing, and my words were stuck somewhere between my mind and my mouth. I wanted to say something simple, but everything suddenly felt too complicated. The person in front of me smiled and waited, and I tried to hide my nervous laugh. In that small moment, I realized English was not just a language, it was a mirror. It showed how confident or scared I was, how open or shy I felt. That day, I said only a few broken sentences, but something changed inside me. I understood that I didn't have to be perfect to be understood. People were not listening to my grammar. They were listening to my effort, and that was the day I started to grow. From that day, I made a promise to myself that I would speak a little more every time I got the chance. I spoke to friends, I spoke to strangers, I even spoke to myself in the mirror. Sometimes I made mistakes, sometimes I laughed at my own accent, but every time I spoke, I became a little stronger. Slowly, I stopped thinking too much before speaking. I started enjoying the sound of my own voice in English. It was not about showing off. It was about expressing who I really was. There were days I felt I was not improving, and days when I surprised myself. Once, I met a foreigner in a coffee shop, and for the first time, I spoke freely without translating in my mind. That moment felt like flying. It was not just English anymore, it was freedom. Freedom from fear, from self-doubt, from the voice that said, "You can't do it." That small conversation showed me how much I had grown, and I realized something powerful that day. Growth is not something you see every day, it's something you feel one day. It's not in the books you read, it's in the courage you show. So if you feel like your English is not improving, remember this story. You are already growing, even if you don't see it yet. Because every word, every sentence, every mistake is a part of your journey. And one day, without even realizing it, you will speak with the same freedom too. Now, let's talk about how you can test and grow your English in real life. Not with big exams, but with small daily actions that actually show your progress. Tip 1. Talk to yourself every day. It might sound strange, but it's one of the most powerful ways to improve. When you speak to yourself, you remove fear and build confidence quietly. Stand in front of a mirror and talk about your day in English. Tell yourself what you did, what you felt, what you learned. For example, say, "Today I woke up early and went for a walk." The more you talk, the more natural your sentences become. You'll notice how your mouth and tongue start moving easily. You'll stop translating and start thinking directly in English. That's the real sign of growth. Tip 2. Listen like a friend, not like a student. Most learners listen to English with fear of missing words, but fluent people listen with curiosity, not pressure. When you listen to English podcasts or videos, focus on understanding the feeling, not every word. If you miss a word, don't stop, just keep going. Because language is not about catching every sound, it's about catching the meaning. Watch English movies with subtitles at first, then try without them. You'll be surprised how your brain learns patterns naturally. Slowly, your ears will start recognizing words even before they end. That's how fluent listening is built. Tip 3. Practice speaking with real people. You don't need native speakers to improve. You need conversations that make you think, laugh, and express yourself. Join English groups online, comment on YouTube videos, or talk to your friends in English for just 5 minutes a day. When you talk to someone, you learn real reactions, not textbook lines. You learn how people actually use the language in daily life. Even one small conversation can teach more than one big grammar lesson. And every time you talk, you become a little more fluent. Tip 4. Record your voice. Recording is like keeping a diary of your progress. When you listen to your own voice, you notice your pronunciation, your tone, and your speed. At first, you may not like your voice, and that's okay. Everyone feels that way in the beginning, but with time, you'll start loving how confident you sound. Record the same short paragraph every month and compare your old voice to your new one. You'll clearly hear how much you've improved without needing anyone to tell you. Your growth will speak for itself. Tip 5. Learn one new word and use it. Don't just memorize, use. When you learn a new word, try to use it 3 times the same day. Use it in a sentence, a text, or even while thinking. For example, if you learn the word grateful, say, I'm grateful for my friends. Use it again at night. I'm grateful for this day. This small habit builds your vocabulary faster than any book. Because when you use a word, it becomes yours. And every new word adds a new layer to your personality. These 5 tips may look simple, but they're powerful if you use them every day. You don't need a teacher or a classroom to grow. You just need curiosity, consistency, and courage. That's how real English fluency grows. Slowly, naturally, and beautifully. Now let's slow down for a moment and check how much your English has grown. This is not a test with marks. This is a test with honesty. I will ask you a few simple things, and you can answer them in your mind or out loud. The goal is not perfection. The goal is expression. So relax your shoulders and take a calm breath. Think about the last time you spoke English with someone. Maybe it was with a friend, maybe online, or maybe in your own room. How did you feel in that moment? Did you hesitate before speaking, or did the sentence come naturally? Your answer already shows the level you're on today. Now think about one English sentence you used this week. It can be small, it can be simple, but remember it clearly. Try to say that sentence again in your mind. If it feels easier than before, that means your fluency is silently improving. Next, think about the words you once found difficult, but now understand easily. Maybe words like comfortable, confident, or improve. These words used to slow you down, but now they flow through your mind effortlessly. This is the kind of growth we never notice daily. but it becomes clear when we pause and reflect. Now, let's look at your listening skills. Remember a moment when you watched an English video and understood more than you expected. Maybe you didn't catch every word, but you caught the meaning. That moment was a sign that your ears have started learning the rhythm of the language. Fluency is not only about speaking, it's also about hearing the language without fear. Now think about your confidence. There was a time when you avoided English conversations completely, but now you try, even if it's not perfect. Trying is the biggest sign of improvement, because trying means courage, and courage is what makes your English stronger every day. Now imagine yourself 6 months from now, speaking more smoothly, understanding more quickly, and expressing yourself more freely. That future version of you is already waiting, and every sentence you speak today takes you one step closer. So take a moment and appreciate yourself. You are not learning English slowly. You are learning it naturally. You are not behind anyone. You are exactly where you need to be. Your English is growing, not in big jumps, but in real daily progress. And the fact that you are listening to this shows how committed you are to your journey. If you're still here listening, it means one thing: you truly care about your English and about your growth. And that already puts you ahead of many people who only dream but never try. You have taken the time to listen, reflect, and practice with me today. That shows real dedication. So before we end, I want to ask you something simple. If this episode helped you understand your progress, even a little, share it with one friend who is also learning English. Because when you help someone grow, you grow twice as fast yourself. Leave a small comment below and tell me, what was one line or moment in this episode that connected with you the most? Was it the part about speaking confidently or the story about small progress? I'd love to read your thoughts because your feedback helps me make the next episode even better for you. And if you haven't yet, make sure you subscribe to Storytime English. This channel is not just about lessons, it's about learning with heart. Every story, every word, and every sound you hear here is made to build your confidence step by step. When you subscribe, you become part of a small community that believes in growth through honesty, not pressure. Here, we don't compare ourselves with others. We compare ourselves with who we were yesterday. Now let me remind you something important before you go. Fluency is not a destination, it's a direction. It's not about reaching the finish line, it's about enjoying the journey on the way. Every sentence you speak today is a small victory. Every new word you learn is another door opening for you. You don't need to speak like a native speaker to sound confident. You just need to speak like yourself. Honest, simple, and true. Maybe right now you still make small mistakes. That's okay, because mistakes are your teachers in disguise. Every time you correct yourself, you grow without even realizing it. So never be afraid of your accent, your pauses, or your grammar slips. They're not problems. They're proof that you're trying. And trying is what turns beginners into speakers, and speakers into masters. Think about where you started. The first time you spoke English, maybe you felt small. But look at you now, understanding every sentence in this podcast. That's not luck. That's growth. That's the result of every minute you've spent believing that you can do better. So from this moment, I want you to make one small promise to yourself. Promise that you will keep learning, not for perfection, but for confidence. Promise that you will speak even on the days when you feel unsure. Promise that you will never stop believing that English can open new doors for you. Because it can, and it will. All you need to do is stay consistent and stay curious. Before I say goodbye, let me tell you something from my heart. You are doing better than you think. You are already improving, even if you don't see it every day. And someday soon, you will look back and realize that this small step, listening to this episode, was the start of something big. So keep going, keep speaking, keep learning, and keep growing with me here at Storytime English. Thank you for being part of this journey today. If you liked this episode, don't forget to give it a like so more learners can find it too. And if you're new here, hit the subscribe button and join our growing family of learners who believe in progress, not pressure. New episodes come every week, and each one is made to help you speak English naturally and confidently. Your support means the world to me. It's what keeps this channel alive and growing. All right, my friend, this is the end of today's story. But your English journey continues right after this. Go and use one new sentence today. Talk to someone, share your thoughts, or just describe your day in English. Because growth doesn't happen when you listen, it happens when you act. And I believe you will act today. Until next time, stay confident, stay kind, and keep speaking from your heart. This is Storytime English, signing off with one message. Your English is growing, and so are you.